So here's a quick video on the tips I've learned while changing the rear shock absorbers on a 2001 Honda Odyssey. This is the actual rear shock absorber that we'll be replacing today. I've already actually removed or loosened at least, the two mounting bolts. The one here on the top is threaded into the body here. This is a 17 millimeter socket that can remove that, so that just comes right out. On the bottom, the other end is also 17 millimeters. One of the tips here is that it does have a concave washer on the bottom of it. And so concave being the bowl shaped, you want that to be away from the shock absorber or towards the nut. So again, the bottom of the bowl is towards the shock and the top of the bowl is towards the nut. So once those are off, there is a long threaded stud that this bottom part slides over, and it doesn't just pop off like I've seen in a lot of videos. So you do need to hammer it a bit. I just have my 3-pound sledge, and what I'm using is just a metal chisel here to give me a little bit of extension. And you do have to whack it quite a few times, I found, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot here. So as you can see, a lot of the videos, maybe I'm just not strong enough, but 3 or 4 whacks was not enough. So this is the one that is leaking here. You can see that, and this is going to not only squeak and squeal, but also contribute to that nosedive when you touch the brakes. You can see, wow, this is easily compressible just by squeezing it. So the reinstallation of the new one, there are a couple different versions. Everything I've heard says that the ride, and this van has over 200,000 on it. The ride is much better if you go with the factory ones. They are a little more expensive. So just a few quick tips on putting it back in. I did notice that part of it is covered with this rubber coating, and you do want that to be towards the ground. And then of course this covered part is on the top, same as the removal. So to insert it back in, just kind of snake it in here. And then once again, you do have to hammer it back on. I was a little timid about messing up the threads on that threaded bolt, but rest assured it does slide right over. again, to put in the washer, the bowl facing away from the shock absorber, you're going to slide that back in. $17mm ratchet. You want to snug this up. Leave that a little snug. Don't tighten it up all the way quite yet, because we do need to align the top here, which you will notice doesn't exactly line up. So I'm going to switch positions with my cameraman here so you can come around and see what I'm going to do with the floor jack. You want to place it underneath the knuckle. Right here, I'm avoiding the actual drum and just putting it under the control arm. So just lightly raise that, just maybe an inch or so, and then come around to the top. Check the alignment. Looks like we can go up a little bit more. Good. Get that started. Again, just snug it up there. Now in the Haynes manual I had, they did want you to fully snug the bolts or tighten them up with it in a, using the jack to raise it in a ride height position. So looking at where the front tire is, I figured the bottom lug nut here in line with the body should be about ride height. So let's raise that up. Okay, and then for the final tension on those bolts, you do want to snug them down. This torque spec is 47 foot-pounds. So again, the main tips are about that washer on the bottom and not being afraid to really hammer on that bottom mounting bolt, because you do have to slide it over the threaded part as well as the part that the absorber sits on. All right, thank you much. Please leave any comments in below. Bye-bye.